At the end of August of 2014, 10 kayaking candidates came together with an instructor and an instructor trainer at the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary Flotilla 72 Training Center in Norwalk, Connecticut. They spent 5 full days of paddling, training, and learning in the hopes of becoming certified ACA coastal kayaking instructors. The days were filled with hours of paddling technique, towing exercises, navigation, safety, group guiding, and rescue scenarios. Lots of rescue scenarios. This is a look back at those 5 water-filled days. Our first day begins with introductions and exercises to get to know each other. Soon thereafter, we take to the water. After rafting up and getting direction from Scott, our instructor trainer, we get busy with basic stroke technique. Scott is a level 4 coastal kayaking and open water instructor trainer and traveled from South Carolina to teach us knuckleheads. During our strokes exercises, John takes a quick dip. He pumps out his boat while I tow him back to the group. By filming ourselves, we can see our mistakes. For my contact tow, I should have clipped onto John's deck lines from the bottom up. Scott shows us a balancing exercise, trying to get us all in the water. I performed my first rescue of the day with Justin. Little do we know how often we'll be doing this. Every day includes classroom lessons, where we cover a wide range of topics, including safety, weather, and the ins and outs of the ACA. Day 2 starts with bright sunshine, and we're ready to spend a long day on the water. Eric takes us through a set of backwards figure eights while maintaining a tight pack formation. We're back on our decks and ready to get wet with some Hand of God rescues. We get to practice the Hand of God within our boats later on. John assists Eric with a rescue, and as always, is timed by David. David impresses us with his acting skills as an injured paddler with a dislocated shoulder. Scott then demonstrates the scoop rescue. David assists with instruction for the workshop and is himself a level 4 ACA instructor. Serena practices the scoop rescue with Jean, while John tackles Jorge. Drew demonstrates the paddle float self-rescue, and then we each do it in turn, being coached by our partner. Day 3 meets us with slightly gloomier skies, and our bodies start to feel the long hours on the water. Jorge and Patrick warm us up with a game that is easier to mess up than you would think. Throughout the workshop, each candidate must teach a lesson on an assigned topic. Eric takes us through hypothermia, its signs, and how to treat it using storm cags and a beach shelter. We later take to the water to practice towing, and the instructors turn it into a race. I start by towing John, but I'm delighted when it's my turn to be towed. Scott demonstrates the hand of God and uses his elbow for extra leverage. Our third day tour guiding exercise is full of catastrophes. First, Patrick takes a swim with flooded hatches. Jorge and Felix perform a good old-fashioned H-rescue. We soon realize that it is as if none in our group have ever paddled before. Every time we make some progress, someone is in the water. We even start losing some of our group members while performing rescues. Our instructors had assigned misfortunes to each candidate earlier on to be executed on their command. Jean is next in playing the victim. She simulates a heart attack, and I tow her and Jorge back to land. We move Jean onto the shore while Jorge calls 911 and gives our position. Eric tests our alertness by hiding while we're busy assisting Jean. Scott shows us a simple technique for towing 2 or 3 boats at the same time. Gray skies greet us on our 4th day. Spirits dip due to our group's shrunken size. The Level 2 candidates, sadly, are not a part of the final 2 days. We begin with a navigation lesson from Drew. After plotting and calculating our trip to Shea Island, we take to the water. David provides our first simulation of the day. He capsizes and frantically swims away. I forget my basic instructions when dealing with an unknown or scared swimmer and get too close. He capsizes me in an effort to get himself out of the water and makes it hard for us to calm him down. We eventually get him out of the water, feed him, and warm him up in a storm cag. Felix and I tandem tow a happier David being assisted by Jean. We then raft up, analyze the simulation, and review our performance. Scott shows us techniques for carrying swimmers on our bow and stern, but wants to make things harder for Jean by flooding her cockpit. She's already mixing it up by using my boat and paddle. Scott impresses the group by carrying Felix on his stern. After a quick lunch on Shea Island, we make our way back out and practice assisted Eskimo rescues. We also get the chance to do a quick scramble in the midst of some fun waves. I get to demonstrate and teach the re-enter and roll. I realize when I'm up that I use the backside of my paddle. When it comes to rolling, as long as you end up above the water, either side of the paddle works. Our final simulation of the day consists of Scott feeling ill. I contact tow Jean while she carries him on her bow. Scott's performance takes a riveting turn when he falls unconscious during the rescue. We raft up as a group while Drew and Felix perform a scoop rescue on an unconscious Scott. I secure all 3 boats, and then Jorge and I tow them back to shore in tandem. Jean supervises the endeavor and signals to an oncoming boat. Our tandem tow passes 100 feet in length. Scott waits for the perfect time to offer help clearing up the boats.
David, can I help you with anything? Right on time.
Impeccable time.
Can I buy you some pizza?
No. Man, my word, we didn't quite get it.
Our 5th and final day greets us with clear skies and warm winds. We set off to spend some time working on advanced maneuvers. We start with edging exercises and then move on to rudders. We take a quick break while Scott and David demonstrate the physics behind weathercocking. Lastly, Drew and I play a quick game of chicken and demonstrate the side slip. After 5 days of hard work in the classroom and on the water, we have a well-deserved beer together. Our assigned homework is to perform many of the rescues practiced in the workshop when stronger conditions develop this fall, including 15 knots of wind, 1 to 2 foot waves, and 1 to 2 knots of current. We can't wait.